A swarm of ants is crawling across the woman's face, but she doesn't dare move, because a man is chasing and trying to kill her. But she finally can't hold back, and she screams out, attracting Richard's attention. Iris struggles on the ground, throwing herself into the river as hard as she can, letting the river push her away. Richard can only watch as she floats away. She then comes across a tree stump, which she holds onto as she makes her way up the bank. But not having climbed far, Iris feels her body become unbearably heavy. For just 20 minutes before, Richard gives her a paralyzing injection, and now her body becomes stiff. Her breathing becomes heavy, and she is completely incapacitated, with only her eyes staring helplessly. After a long time, an old man with a weed whacker finds her. He keeps asking her what's wrong, but she can't answer him. She can only try her best to respond to him by blinking her eyes. He promises to help her call the police, but no sooner have they reached the house than a sharp knock comes at the door. Iris blinks as hard as she can. Then he opens the door. Richard says that he had a car accident and he can't find his wife. He acts tearful. The old goes back inside and is ready to call the police, but Richard enters the room without permission to search. He sits on the couch and says that he loses his cell phone. He can't reach his wife. Unbeknownst to him, Iris is hiding behind the couch he is sitting on at the moment, and he says his wife suffers from a mental illness. Her body will completely become stiff if she has an attack, which is the same symptom as Iris's. The old man begins to believe what he says. Just as he is about to tell him the truth, Richard's phone rings. He immediately realizes that he has been duped by him. Since this is the case, Richard completely removes his disguise. He threatens the old to hand over the woman. The righteous old man isn't afraid of him at all. He pushes him to the ground. Richard gets up and lunges at him, but the old man is strong, and a few punches knock him down again. However, he inadvertently touches a dagger that has fallen to the floor, and stabs it into the old man's calf. Iris watches as the old man dies in front of her for protecting her. When Richard is about to leave, he fills the house with gasoline and prepares to burn the whole house down. Iris tries to get his attention by tapping her fingers on the floor, but the sound is too low to be heard. As he prepares to leave, he notices that the blinds are opening and closing, and it is all Iris can do to stay alive. Eventually, he carries Iris away, and they head back to the place where the car accident happened. Richard plans to have his car towed away so as not to arouse suspicion, but at that moment, a police car pulls up. The policeman notices that something is wrong with Iris. When he approaches her, she desperately whispers, "Help me," and he follows her vision and discovers the tube of anesthetic. However, Richard reacts swiftly once again. He then drags her out to a boat. Iris notices that he has a knife and a gun in his waistband, and she deliberately tells him that she wants to take one last look at her son's toy. Then she takes the opportunity to steal his knife. She then deliberately rocks the boat and throws him into the lake. While Richard is climbing up, she gets the gun, and eventually he is knocked down and falls into the lake. Iris breathes heavily, feeling the relief of surviving. But soon, the bottom of the boat goes into the water. It turns out that when she just shot the boat was left with several holes. The water is getting deeper and deeper, and her whole body gradually submerges in the water.